This is the new Kamala Harris ad about the border. It's the closest we've gotten to a policy proposal on a major issue for the American people, which is quite different, you might say, her ad, than the views on the border, going back to a 2019 debate when she said crossing illegally into America should not be a crime.
Raise your hand if you think it should be a civil offense rather than a crime to cross the border without documentation. Can we keep the hands up so we can see them?
To be fair, she was one of many. With us now, Michael Warren, the Dispatch senior editor, and Karen DeFilippi, Democratic strategist, former deputy executive director for the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. Great to have both of you. Thank you. All right, Karen, to you. Can Kamala Harris, before the convention, or even during the convention, remake herself into, what, a Clintonian Democrat?
I think Kamala Harris can and is making herself into Kamala Harris. And if we're talking specifically about immigration, her position and her stances haven't changed from when she was Attorney General. She has been smart and tough. When she was Attorney General of California, the largest state in the country, she cracked down on guns and drugs coming across the border.
We're all entitled to our own opinions here. We're not entitled to our own facts. The person who says crossing illegally should not be a crime is not what Americans look at as securing the border. Those are two radically different policy proposals.
When Kamala Harris was vice president, she did secure the border, and we can see how migrant crossing has dropped significantly since she was vice president. Let's also keep in mind that she's running against Donald Trump, who, if he was serious about immigration and securing the border, he wouldn't have killed the bipartisan deal to win an election.
Okay. Mr. Warren, where are Republicans when you have on a number of issues, fracking, Green New Deal, single-payer health care, border policy, gun reform, police funding, that Kamala Harris would like people to believe, it seems, has radically changed her positions?
Look, I mean, Republicans are following the leader of their party. The leader of their party, Donald Trump, is focusing on things like whether or not Kamala Harris's campaign rallies have AI crowds added to them. I think this is a real failure for Donald Trump's campaign to sort of realize that they're not running against Joe Biden anymore. They're running against a new candidate. Remember 2012, the Etch-a-Sketch moment with Mitt Romney's campaign? That's what Kamala Harris has been given. So she's able to shunt aside pretty much everything that certainly the Biden administration stood for that gets in her way of winning in a general election. She's not facing reporters who might be asking her questions about those past positions.
She's not facing reporters at all.
At all.
So, Karen, I think about this. Somehow, Kamala Harris has created a situation where Americans disassociate Kamala Harris with the results of the Biden-Harris administration. It's kind of remarkable that that's happened. Understandably, it's happened in about 3 weeks. Is there a plan for her campaign once the honeymoon wears off?
Well, I'm not entirely sure the honeymoon is going to wear off, because I think categorizing it as a honeymoon is a discredit to what she's offering the American people, which is smart solutions. And that if you care about...
She's not offering any solutions. She's not offering any policies.
Well, I think she's offering her record as it has been. I also think that, President Biden, delivered record success for the American people, right? And she was a part of those success. And that's still in contrast to a president and his platform, which is Project 2025, which is a fundamental threat to our democracy, to our rights, and to American workers.
So something she's disavowed, just to be fair.
Right.
All right. Michael, last point to you. At what point are Republicans who are running down ballot going to start worrying about Donald Trump, and is there been any discussions of, if not now, when does the reset come?
I think everybody is waiting to see how the convention goes. Things will kick into high gear after Labor Day, but I think there's some real concern. There was a moment before Joe Biden dropped out where Georgia was off the table for Democrats. Republicans were going to win that state. Now Georgia's back on the table. Arizona, Nevada possibly back on the table. I think the panic is going to start to set in. It's going to take a couple more weeks.
All right. Good to see you. Thank you very much. Pleasure. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.